like the look of this.
You know the drill. Hand over your money or get used to breathing dirt.
All right, just take it easy. Quit waving that cannon in my face and let's talk.
We're done talking, understand? You got exactly 5 seconds. 1, 2.
L.A.P.D. Try shooting someone with a gun of his own. Find some cover!
Senseless.
You know the way. You can drive. You can drive. You're behind the wheel.
Continue to respond, okay?
Hi, Albert. We've caught this case.
Hey, Biggs. We? You have a partner? What gives?
This is Cole Phelps. You may have read about him.
Oh, now I get it. Hello, Phelps. Welcome to the netherworld of arson. Family of 4 found dead in their beds. Heater explosion.
Hey, another one.
Looks that way. Insta-heat Model 70. Before you get excited, we get a couple of water heaters a month go back. Take a look around the yard and see what you can find.
Mal. You gonna stick it out, Cole?
I'm gonna try, Mal. What have you got?
Family by the name of Sawyer. Mother, father, and 2 kids. All in bed from the looks of it. Oh, I'd say carbon monoxide poisoning. The burns are superficial.
Time of death.
I'd say about midnight. Anything more exact will take some time to determine. Lynch tells me this has something to do with a faulty water heater.
Could be. There's been a spate of problems with a particular brand. I've got another angle in mind.
You care to elucidate, Detective? This is a murder and not an accident. Sharing information has helped us solve quite a few cases together.
I need something concrete, Mal, before the department gets wind of it. I'm in arson for a reason.
I feel sorry for your wife and kids, Phelps, not for you. But you're a good case man. One of the best I've ever met. I'll help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mal. I'd say that's firm but fair. How about the insurance companies write these incidents up as acts of God? Hey, Biggs! Is this significant?
Regulator valve. Good find.
Detectives? This is the next door neighbor.
Detective Phelps, can you help?
They were supposed to be going away. They won a trip somewhere. But little Henry got sick, so they had to cancel. What are the chances?
Do you know who ran the competition?
Gulliver's Travel, up on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Phelps, the guy across the street. I've seen him before. He likes fire.
Hurry, you can still catch him.
Stop! L.A.P.D!
See,
We've got an ID on this firebug. Stop right there! What's your name?
Herbert Chapman.
So you like fires.
Some.
Watching them or setting them?
I don't want any trouble.
Turn out your pockets.
You're a naughty boy, aren't you, Herbert?
I keep myself to myself.
Cigarette in a matchbox gives you a 5 or 6 minute delay. You want more time, you use a mosquito coil. Don't you, Herbert?
You like this fire, Herbert?
Hell no. I heard it over the fire radio. Sounded sweet.
When you finish following your leads, come and see me at the fire station. I have a theory about this.
Will do, Lynch. Take this guy in. We might want him for questioning later.
You got it, Detective.
Why have you got such a hard-on for this case? If it is murder, it's almost impossible to prove. Fire doesn't leave much evidence. There's no percentage in this.
I think it's more than one case.
They're house fires, Cole. Accidents, heater fires, gas explosions.
There's got to be a reason.
The reason is you want to be a star again. Forget it. Give it up. You'll feel better.
There's something to this. I know it.
What are you talking about? Arson is insurance. It's always been insurance.
We still investigate the cases, Biggs. The people in this house are dead.
Go soak your head, Phelps. This hero business is a full-time obsession with you.
I'm gonna make this case. I'm gonna rub the department's nose in it. Help me or stay out of my way. You got it?
KGPL to any central unit. Ambulance shooting. Any central unit. Identify.
You can drive.
KGPL to any central unit. Ambulance shooting. Any central unit. Identify.
$11K, go ahead.
Car 11K. Ambulance shooting. Meet the officer at the interstate bus station at Beverly and Union. Code 2.
Code 56 this time.
What's the situation?
Some stick-up boys lost their heads and a girl got shot. We have to move fast, sir. There are still people inside. We don't want any civilian casualties, Biggs. Biggs! He's on the lam! On the floor! You know the way. You can drive.
Detectives Phelps and Biggs, L.A.P.D.
John Cunningham. Can I help you, gentlemen?
We have reason to believe that the Sawyer family of 4414 Rosewood Avenue recently won a competition run by your company.
Yes, I remember them. They called up to cancel at the last minute. One of the kids was sick. Very unfortunate.
Do you mind if I take a look at that? The Sawyer family, Rosewood Avenue. Here they are, Steffens. Tell us about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
There's not much to tell. They run a promotion. Our promotion's mailing list covers half of L.A.
So they are not a government agency?
I don't believe so. Government organizations don't usually get involved in promotions.
I'm told the tickets were a prize.
Yes, they were.
You do a lot of these prizes.
Look, there are hundreds of these promotions running at any one time. If you're the lucky guy, you get your name pulled out of a hat.
While the Sawyer family were supposed to be at Catalina Island, their house burnt down. You consider them lucky?
Christ. I'm sorry to hear that.
Can you tell me who offered the prize won by the Sawyer family?
Sure. Look, there's supposed to be some sort of supervised draw with hundreds of tickets. But the reality is the Suburban Redevelopment Fund calls me every couple of weeks and tells me exactly who has won.
Thanks for your help.
No problem. I just wish I could do something for that family.
You could put round the hat. A few bucks would really help them now.
I suppose so.
Good. I'll put you down for 50. I could tell you were Samaritan the minute I walked in the door.
50? Are you?
Good man, Cunningham. You're all right.
Yeah, I'm great. Poorer, but great.
Let me guess. You want to check out the Suburban address?
Great partners must think alike, Herschel.
Any available unit, meet the officer. 211 just occurred at 253 Main Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Any available unit, meet the officer. 211 just occurred at 253 Main Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
This is 11K. We'll handle the call at Main Street.
211 is at the Bank of Arcadia, 253 Main Street.
Hands off! I'm sick!
Nothing that a night in the tank wouldn't fix, bub. Now, where did they go?
What happened?
Two guys made off with about $1,000 in a paper sack. The Vag says he saw him leave.
I'm right here, you know!
Not much of a witness.
Sir, you need to tell us where they went. Now.
They headed for the parking lot.
I'll go for the tires. That ought to slow the son of a bitch down. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheels. It's no good. We need to get closer. close and steer them off the tar. Lay into his wheel well, come on.
Quite a ride you took us on. Get out with your hands up. You're behind the wheel.
This is supposed to be the registered offices of the Suburban Redevelopment Fund.
This is an Elysian housing development, Mac.
So Elysian is an investor in the redevelopment fund.
Looks that way.
Are we done here, Mac? I've got work to do.
Sure, buddy. Thanks for your help. Elysian are investors in the suburban redevelopment. So what? If you think I'm putting my pension on the line and harassing Leland Monroe without evidence, you're out of your mind.
It's not much I can tell you. Just that these Elysian boys pay good, and I don't ask questions.
Lynch says we should visit Fire Station 32.
Who exactly is this guy, Lynch?
Lynch is a legend. You should feel privileged. He doesn't let many people into the inner sanctum. Keep your mouth shut, and you'll learn something about fires.
We came as soon as we could.
Lynch.
Biggs, you two investigating the house fire on Kenmore Avenue as well?
Yep. Why?
I had a look around the place while I was out there.
Do you believe the fire?
I deal in facts, Phelps. Evidence of an explosion. No obvious sign of accelerants. Wiring looks intact. Come and take a look at this.
This the heater from the Sawyer fire, Al?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Looks like it was recently serviced.
I have a theory, and it's a theory only. I don't have enough evidence to prove...
Al, if you say it's so, we're listening.
Okay, Phelps. You're a bright penny. You have a gas supply. You have a Bunsen burner as a pilot light. You have a regulator valve, and the balloon represents the gas expanding in the room. Now, the gas has to make contact with the mosquito coil to form an explosion. Let's see if you can work out the chain of events.
The gas bubble needs to be next to the coil if it's gonna ignite.
Good, your regulator's in position. Okay, I'll light your pilot and turn the gas on.
You pull the lever on the left to turn on the gas.
So that's how it's being done.
Maybe. There could be a fault with these valves. I've adjusted this one for our experiment, but you need to take it to InstaHeat and see what they say. Their headquarters is on North Harvard Boulevard, number 262.
Thanks, Albert.
You're welcome, Biggs. See you at the next show.
That's him. That's the cop. Tried to poke me in the nose. You got a problem?
The next fire. We should go to the factory and see how many of these things are going bang in the night.
You know this Chapman character?
Guy's a freak. Loves fires. He's the kind of guy that we'd like for a lot of things, but we don't really have any credible evidence to pursue him with.
Broad has socks on.
L.A.P.D. detectives, ma'am. We need to speak to someone in charge.
I see. Well, duty manager for today is Mr. Rasick. You should find him in his office.
That's the creep. Walked out on his wife.
New and improved model. They'll be selling these like hotcakes.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent.
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson. We're investigating a couple of house fires. What can you tell us about this?
Pressure regulator from a Model 70, yeah. Let me take a look. We have a problem. This has been tampered with.
What?
You see this diaphragm? It forms a seal across the saddle here. Gas flows across from here to here. The diaphragm regulates flow. It's been reversed. It's a subtle change, but it means the gas never closes off properly.
So you're telling me that this is not a manufacturing fault or service repair?
I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the design. We could do this some other time if you're not feeling well. We could do this some other time if you're not feeling well. We could do this some other time if you're not feeling well.
You're telling me that you've never had any problems with this heater?
Look, we've changed the design since the Model 70.
These things are still being installed?
It's the demand. None of us could keep up with the amount of housing going up. At the budget end, we're still using some of the old stock. We are installing 100 heaters a week. They're not all faulty.
They're not all safe either.
Are these diaphragms prone to failure?
They tend to go after a while. The rubber lasts quite a few years and then it perishes.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
Sure, of course they are.
You employ accredited mechanics to do this.
We call them installers. Technically, they're gas fitters.
Installers, then?
They know what they're doing, Detective, if that's what you're trying to imply.
I want you to get me a copy of the list of your installers.
Okay, I'll get it for you. There, around a dozen of them. Housing business is going crazy at the moment.
This is a long shot. We are not going to roust that whole list.
I want to run it by R&I, cross-reference for arsonists. See if any of these guys have any previous. Sir, I need to use your phone.
Go right ahead.
One of these days.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need to know if any of the following names have a previous criminal history.
Okay, Detective, run the names.
Acevedo Ernesto, Clemens Walter, Elgram John, Gable Leroy, Kelligrew Peter, Cutner Robert, Limehouse Albert, Manning Franklin, Neves Raymond, O'Brien Thomas, Ryan Matthew, Spurgeon William, Varley Reginald, Zurich Stephen.
Clemens Walter. Previous conviction for arson and malicious damage. Burned down a house in Westwood in 1942. 4-year jail term.
Thanks.
Ryan Matthew. Charged for contempt of court. Attempted murder. Plea bargain down to assault charge.
Anyone else?
There is a Reginald Varley wanted for murder by Detroit Police Department.
Thanks. You've been a big help, young lady.
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something.
Your employment roster is quite... Do you have an address for Clemens?
He's working on an apartment building on Catalina and 3rd.
What about Ryan?
Currently working at a housing development on Normandy and 1st Street.
Varley, where is he?
Beverly and Mariposa, currently working on a new housing development. Hey, Varley's a good guy. You can't harass all my people.
These guys have lockers.
Yes, they do, but my men have a right to some privacy. Don't you need a warrant or something?
Show him and keep quiet.
I swear, this town is going straight
Here.
to hell.
Happy now?
Stick around, Mr. Rasick. some light reading on the merciless capitalist machine.
Seems irrelevant.
Clemens is a fellow traveler. My company went through thousands of these in the war. Still got eaten alive.
I'm gonna suck the hell out of you.
Hope that helps, officer.
Ryan wants the world to be a better place, don't we all? Barley has a problem with bugs.
You know that a mosquito coil takes an hour to burn down, Rasic?
No, I didn't know that.
It's the favorite choice of ignition by arsonists. Gives them time to get away.
You're crazy. He probably lives near the canals in Venice. Mind if I leave you to it? I got work waiting.
3 birds. Clemens, Ryan, Varley. Biggs, L.A.P.D. We want some answers, and we want them quick.
Okay, okay. What's this all about? Just tell me what you want.
You know Reginald Varley?
No? Can't say I do.
Detroit PD is after Reginald Varley for murder. We want us to run you in for aiding and abetting Clemens?
Whoa, 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 whoa. All I know about Varley is he gets kickbacks from some developer. Does their work first. Spreads it around if he can.
You're licensed and work for InstaHeat?
I contract for them. So what?
InstaHeat hires arsonists, does it?
I've worked as a fitter all my life. Put everything I had into that house. And my fucking mudshark of a wife gets awarded it in settlement. She's blowing spics 2 at a time while I'm at work. And she gets the house. Yeah, I burnt it all right. Set fire to that fucker and watched it burn to the ground. I did my time and I'd do it again.
Sorry about the rouse, Clemens. You did the right thing.
Do you know Matthew Ryan?
No. Don't know the name.
His locker is right next to yours. Give it up.
Okay, so I know Ryan.
All right, Clemens. You're off the hook for the moment.
Can I get back to work now?
Let's get out of here, Phelps. He ain't our guy. Farley's on the run. He might be packing heat. If he's wanted for murder, I say we take the doubt out of the equation and let him have it.
You nervous?
It's been a while.
You were in combat.
1917. You know, I never fired my weapon in the line of duty.
That's nothing to be ashamed of. I hope your piece is still serviceable, Herschel.
I may be old and out of practice, but I'm still a Marine, Phelps.
It would be better for our case if we could bring him in, Herschel.
L.A.P.D, Varley! Stop or I'll shoot! Come on, Varley! You can't keep running forever! Stop or I will shoot!
Why did you run from us, Varley?
I'm gonna take a wild guess that you're the same Reginald Varley the Detroit police have an outstanding warrant on. How am I doing so far?
I need a lawyer before I talk to any of you.
Reginald Varley, you're under arrest for committing a series of arsons. You're also under arrest for murder. Detroit PD will be putting in a request for your extradition. Until then, you're a guest of the city.
Arson? You can't hang that rap on me.
Be quiet. Be thankful we don't shoot you.
Are all the cops in this town crazy?
Take him away, officer. Are you Matthew Ryan?
Who's asking?
Detective Phelps and Biggs, arson squad.
Arson?
You heard the man.
Let's just put this stuff in the car and I'll be right with you.
Hold it, Ryan.
I said, son of a bitch.
Those are GI's backyards he's crashing through.
The damage is only cosmetic.
He's a one-man wrecking ball.
Move in. I'll take out the van. Get in close and steer him off the tar.
He's going to kill those men.
They'll get out of the way.
Only if they hear him coming.
Close in, Phelps. We need to take Ryan down before he hurts somebody. I can't hit a target that isn't there, Phelps. Lay into his wheel well. Come on. Okay. One traffic stop coming up.
He's got an arson-related assault charge, and he's running.
Running don't mean nothing. We got to get this guy in a room before we can get an angle on him.
This man has got to be stopped.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
Put your hands in the air! Why did you run, Ryan?
I was scared.
You got a reason to be scared, Ryan?
Matthew Ryan, I'm arresting you on suspicion of committing a series of arsons.
We have 3 suspects. As much as I'd like it to be Chapman, I think it's one of the other 2 guys. Let's get to the station and close this case.
KGPL to any central unit. Meet the officer. A hit-and-run felony at 6th and Alvarado. Any unit able to handle code 2 identified.
Can you drive to this one?
KGPL to any central unit. Meet the officer. A hit-and-run felony at 6th and Alvarado. Any unit able to handle code 2 identified.
Car 11 King responding. Go ahead, KGPL.
11 King, meet the officer, a hit-and-run felony at the intersection of 6th and...
Jesus Christ.
Notify the coroner's office.
It's not often you get them this easy. Driver left his car behind and hoofed it.
Any witnesses?
None of them saw the crash, but by the blood, I'd say the driver can't be too far.
Did anyone see where the driver went?
I saw a guy run up that alley.
Just stay away from me, goddammit! I mean it! Get back!
Okay already.
I only fell asleep for a second. I've never had any trouble like this before, officer. Never,
William
ever.
Shelton?
Oh, Christ. It's you. Look, you gotta believe me. I'm no criminal.
You can drive.
I have 2 suspects.
Phelps, you got nothing. Biggs, Ryan's waiting for you in interview 1. Varley's in 2.
Hey, Hopkins, you practicing your asshole routine again? Come on, Phelps.
What the hell?
Save yourself some time and get this thing off your chest.
If that's your opening gambit, you better try again.
You know how to reverse a diaphragm in the regulator valve of a Model 70 heater?
No, I don't.
If you know enough to do your job, you know enough to do that repair. You're lying, Ryan.
And how do you think you can prove that?
Your boss at InstaHeat said that you've all been trained to do it. It's a common repair. Are you calling him a liar?
Okay, so I know how it's done. But what would be the point? You'd just end up with a gas leak and then a small fire when you turn the pilot back on.
And if you didn't reset the pilot and the gas spread, what was the cause of the fire in your own home, Ryan?
I won't tell you.
What can you tell me about the Suburban Redevelopment Fund?
Nothing.
I think Suburban is a front for your anarchist buddies. They're arranging for people to be out of town while you burn their houses down.
Suburban? What's that got to do with me? That's Farley's bilk. He's the one with the cozy agreement with those fascists.
So you want to change the world, Ryan?
Yes, I do. So does every reasonable person.
And you're doing your part?
Yes, I am.
Does that include sabotaging water heaters to destroy a company?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is industrial sabotage, Ryan. It's all part of your campaign.
You're delusional, detective. What campaign?
Your locker is full of pamphlets. Clemens told us how you were always foisting them on people.
Sure. I spread the pamphlets. A guy has to do something. Insta-heat heaters break down every day. They're still peddling the same lousy design that they lifted from Hephaestus.
Insta-heat bought out Hephaestus?
Them, Vulcan, Pyro, and a bunch of other companies.
And you still work for them.
A guy has to work.
And the directors of the company. How do you feel about them these days?
You work it out.
You have a history of violence.
I have no such thing.
You're lying, Ryan.
And how exactly are you going to prove that?
You were charged with attempted murder, Ryan.
It was a court case. No criminal liability was the verdict. They said that they couldn't have known that the faulty heater installation would cause a fire. All I know is I lost my whole family. And the company that was responsible got away with it. What would you do?
Which company?
Hephaestus Water Heater Company.
That's it for the moment, Ryan.
So I can go?
Sure. As soon as your red friends storm the building and carry out, you'll keep your seat until we decide how long to lock you up for, knucklehead.
That broad has socks in it, Brazier. That's the creep.
I think Ryan is our
Walked out
man.
on his wife.
But procedure says we eliminate all of the suspects. Let's speak to Varley.
Poor little twist. She was 13 if she was a day.
We have Matthew Ryan in custody, Varley. I think all we need to do is ask him about this, and he'll rat you out.
Fuck Ryan, that pinko bastard.
Have you ever worked on a place on Rosewood Avenue? Family by the name of Sawyer?
Maybe. I'm from out of town. I go where they send me. I don't do a lot of repairs, though. I'm flat out on new installations.
Why are you lying to me, Varley? If Suburban wants their new installations completed, why are you bothering with wrecks like the Sawyer house?
So I'm lying just because I can't remember if I was there or not? How can you prove that I was?
Your name is on the inside door of their water heater.
Okay. You got me there. Suburban, yeah, they wanted that guy out. Sawyer kept complaining about not being able to get his heater service, so they threw in a free service as a sweetener. I think he played him, though, because he still wouldn't sell.
Word is, you're in the pocket of some property developer?
Never. I got principles.
Last chance, Varley. You're already a wanted man. It won't be hard to hang a double arson on top of your murder beef.
Hey, I shot a loan shark who was squeezing my brother for the vig.
That's why you ran?
I ran because the guys who ran that racket will kill me.
What would reversing the diaphragm of an Insta-Heat Model 70 do?
Yeah, I made that mistake before. You get a big bang when you turn the pilot back on.
So you didn't deliberately sabotage the water heater at the Sawyer house?
No, I did not. You out of your mind?
Give me something, Varley, or I'll put it all on you.
Hey, look, I could try to pin this on one of the other guys, but I'd just be making something up.
We're done for now.
So what happens?
You're either going back to Detroit to face a murder rap, or you're staying here to answer for these arsons.
Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Reginald Varley, I'm charging you with committing a series of arsons, and for the murders of Hank Sawyer, Edwina Sawyer, Henry Sawyer, and Jessica Sawyer.
I'm no cold-blooded criminal. I could never burn up a whole family in their home.
How is it? No, just keep your mouth shut and listen to me for a second. How is it you can bring no less than 3 suspects into my station, conduct extensive interviews, sift through mountains of evidence with Lynch and Pinker, and still manage to charge the wrong fucking guy? I took a chance on you, Phelps. People said I was crazy, and you made me look like a jerk. You may not be much of an arson investigator, but I hear you're merciless on the beat. Get going.
You're 2 blocks behind 1st and 2nd.
We have more buildings to clear. You know our orders,
There's
Sergeant.
barely a building left standing or not on fire in your zone, Cole. Is your sector full of Japs?
Questioning my command.
The captain doesn't want anyone falling behind.
Tell the captain we will join him when the job is done.
Just give us the word, Sarge. We'll take care of him. He should be sectioned. That Jap lover's a fucking liability.
We're here to kill Japs, not our own people.
Star-crossed son of a bitch. No one wants to serve under him. He's bad fucking luck.
Can it? We've a job to do here. If I can live with it, you can too.
House fire. Bad one. At least 4 Vicks. Get out there and find out what you can. The address is 650 North Hobart.
I need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Which is it, girls? Bing Crosby or Frank Sinatra?
I want to make homicide.
You hear about Rancho Escondido?
Are we having a conversation, Biggs?
Okay, fuck it. Forget
I'm teasing you, Herschel. Tell me about it.
The new housing developments a couple of weeks from...
Come on!
The new housing developments a couple of weeks from completion. Burned to the ground last night. GIs are ready to move in this week.
Any unit in the vicinity, a citizen reports a 459 there now at 38 North Catalina. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
Cops! Shit! Stop!
L.A.P.D.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheels. Stop! You gotta get me closer. Lay into his wheel well. Come on. Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
But I'm scared to go to prison, mister. They'll take...
I need this vehicle. Police business.
You guys better see this. I hope you have strong stomachs.
Do you have a name?
Morelli, Mike. We recovered a picture of the family.
Okay. Anything else?
To be honest, I just got here, Phelps. Best you talk to Lynch. He's the expert.
Doesn't make any sense. Why aren't they scattered around like the rest of the debris?
I think they've been moved.
Moved?
I think someone moved them after the explosion and before the fire.
Can you explain that, please?
I'm almost positive the cause of death is asphyxiation due to gas inhalation. Look at the parts of their bodies that aren't scorched. The coloring around the fingertips is typical.
They wouldn't have felt a thing.
I think the fire damage is post-mortem. I think someone moved him into this room after the explosion.
It still doesn't make any sense. Why would you run into a burning building?
What are they doing?
The prayer effect is from the fire. Muscles and tendons contract.
There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole.
You ever think about how many people have died in this world?
Another
how
day,
big heaven would
another
have to
dollar.
be to accommodate them bigs?
No, I have not. Show some respect.
It's our boy. I think he watches the fires. I think the Sawyer fire went wrong.
So what about the guy we have in jail, Phelps?
We got the wrong guy.
That doesn't explain why he ran into a burning building. What would make anyone do that?
Guilt.
For the fires?
For his mistake. This guy wants to burn houses, not families. He expects the houses to be empty. He was trying to redeem himself. He probably thought they'd be happier together.
You are one very disturbed individual, Phelps. I know you had it rough lately, but you should start to compartmentalize your thoughts.
He could be right. Can you come up with an alternative explanation?
I'm sure it's the same guy.
Are you telling me that some son of a bitch murdered these people, the whole family, and arranged them here like Cupid dolls?
Might fit, Cole, but I don't think we could ever prove it. There's very little evidence.
Evidence?
Albert, check out the hot water system. Make sure we're dealing with the same MO.
Sure, Phelps. I'll get back to you.
Leave the rest to us, Cole. You better find out what's eating pigs.
Doesn't look like anything. It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. Nope. This is the flashpoint. The heater detonated with enough force to expose the foundations. So something finally got to you.
You want my help, pretty boy? You got it. You keep riding me, and you won't be pretty much longer.
We can get this guy, Herschel.
You think you've seen everything, Phelps? I was with the 2nd Marines at Bella Wood. The things that went on in that farmhouse. My own guys on fire, screaming for a way out. You're not gonna get this guy. There's gonna be no photos and no citations. We're gonna kill this miserable fuck. End of story. You getting this?
You remember the list from the travel agent?
Sure.
The Morellis were winners too. Their name was on that list.
Christ. We should take a look around, work the neighbors, see what they know. I'll go across the street.
Okay, I'll try this side.
I haven't done this for years.
You don't look like a fireman, son.
L.A.P.D. Can you tell me anything about the fire next door?
Terrible luck. Imagine after having won that weekend away.
What's your name, sir?
Foreman. Dudley Foreman.
Did you see or hear anything that might have...
Look, we were asleep when we heard the explosion.
And then what happened?
It was like Pearl Harbor with bits of the house raining down. Blew out all of our windows that faced the place.
I'll have a patrolman come by and take your statement. Hopefully you'll be a little bit more cooperative with him.
Come on, kid. I'm doing my best here. You were talking about the competition, right? Catalina Island? I've got one of the flyers in the kitchen if you're interested.
You smoke heavily, Mr. Foreman?
No. I never touched tobacco. Why do you ask? What the hell? Those aren't mine.
Any luck, Cole?
A couple of things. What did you pick up?
Folded piece of paper. Looks complicated.
Japanese call it origami. Can I take a look?
Sure.
Paper crane. There's a legend about them. You fold 1,000 of these and you get a wish.
Hey, don't break it.
I'm not. I'm unfolding it. It looks like a waybill or a flyer.
For what?
For Elysian Fields developments.
Oh, I see you already have one.
When did the flyer arrive in your mailbox?
They've been arriving for weeks. This one was in the mailbox when I got home from work yesterday afternoon. Going straight to hell.
boondockers they ain't.
All a man can do is put in a prayer for the dead. About all I've got to say about it.
Advice?
You find a game well and get an address for Elysian. The problem is, partner, those Elysian guys are connected.
Someday you'll say something intelligent.
I need an address for a property developer. Elysian Fields Developments.
One moment, Detective. The address is 748 North Oxford Avenue, Wilshire. Anything else?
Messages, please.
You have a message. Contact Captain McKelty immediately.
Thanks. Can you put me through, operator?
Of course. Here you are.
Commander?
Leads on the Morelli fire.
We're about to go and visit Elysian Fields Developments.
You're about to do what? Leland Monroe? He's a personal friend of the mayor and the chief. Are you out of your mind? I'm warning you, Phelps.
Commander, we have a line of inquiry.
You have something, you bring it to me. You're hanging by a thread, Phelps. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Have a report on my desk today.
Kelty has warned us off over Elysian.
Makes sense. It's a dead end. We should check out Rancho Escondido.
You know the place?
Sure. Corner of Fountain and Wilton. Let's go.
Looks like the same model.
How did you get my number, Ira?
At first, I didn't understand you. But now I do.
I'd like you to come back to the clinic.
I'm helping other people now, Doctor.
I think you are confused. You haven't been to the clinic for weeks.
I'm not confused anymore, Doctor. I'm helping people be together.
This world is only temporary. We'll all be happier in heaven. Why don't you tell me where you are and I can come to you? I think the fires should end now. They have served their purpose.
Oh, the fires are only beginning, Doctor. After the fires, everything will be beautiful and clean.
Everything will be erased. The world will be fresh and new.
I can see my purpose now, Doctor. And you helped me to find it.
Catch all the good ones, Phelps.
I doubt it.
Someday you'll say something intelligent.
What now?
Rancho Escondido, a development I've heard about. We gotta check it out.
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Rancho Escondido, a development I've heard about. We gotta check it out.
There isn't much I can tell you right now, Cole.
No usable evidence out here. Sorry. You have to take what you got and get to work.
Fine. But if the skipper sees us driving around in this, we're dead. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
Out of the car, police.
Be careful with it, copper. Has that just been paid look about it?
Sir, get out of the car, please.
I find one goddamn ding.
L.A.P.D. Police emergency.
The heck?
L.A.P.D. I need to take your car.
Be careful with it, copper.
Step out of the vehicle. I've got an urgent call.
We are not going to.
Yes, we are.
You just won't let this go, will you, Cole? I was kind of attached to the paint job, Cole.
You know they're involved somehow. You expect me to turn my back on it? Detectives Phelps and Biggs, LAPD, to see Leland Monroe.
Do you have an appointment?
We're the police, lady. We don't need an appointment.
Can I tell him what it's about?
It's an official investigation.
There are 2 police officers here to see Mr. Monroe.
Send them through.
And that's our cue. Thanks, ma'am.
May I help you, gentlemen?
We would like to speak to Mr. Monroe.
I'm afraid it's impossible. Mr. Monroe's schedule is booked weeks in advance.
Cut to the chase, sister. Is he in?
I'm not at liberty to reveal that, officer.
So he hired you for your intelligence?
I find that offensive.
You have every right to.
This is getting us nowhere, miss.
Casino.
Would you like us to return with a warrant?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. Come into my office. You like a cigar? Drink, boys.
Sure, I'll have a scotch.
Biggs. We're investigating a series of domestic fires, Mr. Monroe.
It's terrible, boys. How can I help?
Elysian Fields and Suburban Redevelopment Fund flyers keep turning up in the vicinity of the fires.
They're turning up all over town, boys. Can you imagine the current demand for housing?
So that's your explanation, Mr. Monroe? Coincidence?
Explanation? Why, what's to explain? I advertise on radio and billboards for buyers, and I advertise for sellers using waybills.
We found a family burnt out in their home. Another house burned to the ground. Another Elysian Fields flyer. Our information is that they didn't want to sell.
Are you saying that's something to do with me? Is that your point?
Point is, every time we find a family barbecued, we find one of your flyers. Is that good advertising?
What do you know about a competition for families to win free vacations to Catalina Island?
My company runs many promotions. I'm not familiar with that one.
Two families are dead, Mr. Monroe. This isn't a question of criminal liability. We're looking at conspiracy to commit murder.
Do you know who you're talking to, son? You want to use incendiary language like that with me? I suggest you should leave immediately.
We've made offers to buy houses in areas where fires have been recorded.
Are you suggesting that I'm burning people out of their homes so that I can sell them new ones?
What happens to your plans if a family like the Morellis refuses to sell?
We work around them. Business finds a way. That's the American way.
Come on, Mr. Monroe. You expect me to believe that you would build a new development with one of those old piles smack bang in the center of it?
Progress is an inexorable process, Detective. Those who choose to stand in defiance are usually confined to the wastebasket of history. To answer your question, yes, we would build around them if we had to. Most people see sense. The arsonists, do you have any suspects?
We aren't at liberty to say.
I didn't think so. The contractors I use for waybills, do you suppose it could be any of them? I have a list of their names if it would be of any help.
That would be very helpful, Mr. Monroe.
Glad to hear it. I'm always happy to help the L.A.P.D. My secretary will provide you with that list. Did you know that I'm on the board of the police pension fund?
Glad to be of help, officers.
What's the story? Any of these names ring a bell?
Herbert Chapman is on this list.
Find the phone. We need to know where we're at with Chapman.
Your boss is a fine man.
Hey, real happiness is when you marry a woman for love, and later find out she's got some money.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you check whether we are still holding a Herbert Chapman?
Let me find out for you. He was released this morning, Detective. I'm sorry, Detective.
It's not your fault. Can you give me a last known address and put out an APB on the guy?
I'll get back to you, Detective. APB will go out over KGPL shortly.
Thanks. Shake a leg, Herschel.
Keep your shirt on. Here I come. You know, there are times when you really miss a nightstick. There's more religion in the end of a nightstick than in 100 cathedrals.
I'm not gonna tell you again, sir.
Don't tell me when and how I can come and go on my own property.
It is not
This is
safe,
America,
sir.
dickhead.
Now step back, or I'll lock you up for
Smart
a fray.
mouth son of a bitch!
Come on, Dad! That's done it, Cole. We're gonna have to pacify these poor chaps.
Come on.
Good thing you showed up when you did, detectives. Those folks were baying for blood.
Okay, then. Let's see if there's anything left to take a look at.
Mortar is like dust. Is that normal in a fire?
You'd expect some shrinkage in the heat, but it looks like the cement barely adhered to the brick. Doesn't appear to be any wall ties either. This thing looks like it was built on the cheap. You got an idea, Hotshot?
I love the chase till the minute I win it. A beautiful face till there's love for me in it. Give me your heart and baby I'll bill it. 'Cause I always kill the things I love. Some
Buy me a drink, Cole?
No.
Not even for old time's sake?
Not even for that.
You're not going to ask me why I'm here?
I wouldn't give you the pleasure. We'll get around to it.
Is something quite other.
She's in fine voice this evening. I wonder how the commander would feel
Save
about...
the threats for someone who cares about them, Roy.
You're breaking my heart, Cole. You know how I feel about you. Stay away from Elysian Fields.
I should have known that you were playing errand boy.
You and your doofus partner. You have been warned.
Thanks for your cooperation, officer.
I love you.
Stay away. You have no idea the type of people that are involved in that company.
I have a pretty good idea, Roy. The same kind of people that sent you here.
Your investigation is finished. Homicide will be taking over from here. I've heard we've had a spate of grass fires in the hills that you and that hunchback might be able to handle. Thanks for the drink, Cole.
You get the message about Monroe?
Yeah. Earl delivered it. You?
McKelty. He started making noises about my pension.
Sorry about that, Herschel. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Save it, Phelps. Monroe's an asswipe. And so was Earl. And so was McKelty when it's all said and done. 11K, go ahead.
11K, the last known address of suspect Herbert Chapman is 650 North Kingsley Drive in Wilshire.
Roger that, KGPL. 11K en route.
Let's go pick him up.
You fought at Sugarloaf, didn't you?
I did, but I don't like to talk about it.
You come across a guy called Jack Kelso out that way?
You know Jack Kelso?
He's an insurance investigator over at California Fire and Life. Our paths cross from time to time. For some reason, seeing you makes me think of him.
Has, Jack spoken to you about his experiences on Sugarloaf? Or the rest of the campaign?
Jack keeps stum just like you do. I know what it feels like to get back from conflict. You gotta respect that. Oh, for God's sakes! Where's your respect for property, Cole? You like to leave your mark, don't you?
We're looking for Herbert Chapman.
I'm looking for him, too. I need him to move his car so I can mow the lawn.
He's definitely not here.
I've been banging on his door off and on for a couple of hours. Yeah, he's out somewhere. There's some kind of problem.
Let's take a look at the car.
Let's see what he's hauling around. Motive, opportunity, and hard evidence. We should revise the APB. He's clearly armed. Definitely gives him opportunity.
Hold it, Cole. There he is. It's Chapman. He's coming out of the laundromat. Shit. He's seen us.
Cops.
Again.
Son of a bitch, he must have caught the trolley. We gotta move fast, Cole. I'll call this in, get some cars dispatched. Car 11K calling KGPL.
Go ahead, 11K.
11K requesting assistance. In pursuit of suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar, currently heading east on Melrose Avenue. Advise all units. Suspect is in control of car and driving dangerously.
Roger, 11K. All units, officers need assistance on Melrose Avenue. A suspect aboard the 1110 University streetcar headed eastbound. Approach with caution. Suspect is in control of the streetcar and driving dangerously. Units to handle code 3 identify.
Stay on his ass, Cole. Don't lose him.
Continue to respond.
See if he can damage one of the wheels. Might act like a brake and slow the thing down. Don't leave me hanging out here, Phelps. Move in. Hold him tight, Cole. As soon as he ditches the tram, we'll be there to grab him. End of the line, you little prick. Come on, Cole. Looks like we have our man, Cole. Well done.
I'm not so sure. Chapman seemed to have his own agenda. There seems to be more to this than a personal vendetta.
What are you talking about?
The fires benefit Elysian in some way. I don't see Chapman and Monroe working together.
You have a point. Well, the evidence is good for Chapman. It's hard to be worrying about his side of the story when he's blasting away with that big 45.
Nice work, gentlemen. Put yourself at considerable risk stopping that trolley and probably saved a lot of lives. Anyone else but you, Phelps, and you'd be up for a bravery award. We've had our eyes on that slippery son of a bitch Chapman for as long as I can remember. I couldn't be happier than to wipe him off the scoreboard. I hope this puts to bed that crazy stuff you had going about Leland Monroe. What were you thinking, Phelps? You'll be calling Richard Nixon a crook next.
What is it?
A letter from Lou. His insurance policy named me beneficiary.
California Fire and Life. You worked for Elysian?
The roof that he was working on collapsed.
It's a very generous settlement. Elsa, I'd like you to do something for me. I think there's something dirty about Elysian Fields.
What has that got to do with Lou?
I want you to reject this settlement. I want you to go and see an investigator named Jack Kelso and ask him to make some inquiries about Lou's case.
Isn't this police work?
Do you want to find out what happened to Lou?
Why would he help, this Kelso?
Jack won't be able to help himself if he smells a rat.
He is a friend of yours?
He hates my guts. Elsa, you could take this money and let them get away with it, or we could get Jack's help and do something about it.
Why not be honest with this man, Cole? He deserves your honesty if you want his help.
Believe me, Elsa, I'd like to level with him. I really would, but it's too late. Years too late.
Mr. Kelso?
That's what the sign on the door says, miss. There's no need to come into the office, Miss Lichtman. If you accept the settlement, all you need to do is sign here.
I don't accept this.
What do you mean you don't accept? I think you're pushing your luck, lady. This seems to be a ridiculously generous settlement. A $200 policy with a $20,000 payout? You should...
I don't want the money.
What do you mean you don't want the money?
I want you to investigate this case. I feel my friend may have been the victim of foul play.
Okay. Let me get the case file.
There's got to be more in these files.
Sounds like your friend took a hell of a fall. I'm sorry for your loss. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course not.
What basis do you have for your claim of foul play?
Lou Buckwalter was a craftsman. I don't believe he would have made a roof that would collapse.
What are you talking about, Ms. Lichtman? This was an industrial accident.
How do you know that?
Because it says right here in black and white.
Do you believe everything that you read, Mr. Kelso?
You and Buckwalter weren't married?
No.
Then how did you become his beneficiary?
We were family friends.
You expect me to reopen this case because you come in here walking that walk? Well, I'm not buying it. I think you should tell me what the hell is going on.
You really want to know?
Yes.
We were interned together on Ellis Island, resident alien Germans whose parents had been killed by Nazis. Do you see the irony in that, Mr. Kelso? We spent 4 years there.
So the roof collapsed, accidents happen. What exactly are you trying to achieve here, Ms. Lichtman?
Exactly what I said. I want that building thoroughly investigated.
I'm intrigued, Ms. Lichtman. I really am. But you're going to have to give me something if you want me to get involved in this.
There is a conspiracy surrounding Elysian Fields and the new houses they are building. I believe your insurance company is involved.
That's pretty heady stuff, Miss Lichtman. Flimsy, but heady.
I've told you what I know, Mr. Kelso. What are you going to do about it?
All right, Miss Lichtman. One final question.
Yes.
What's your address?
Is that usual?
Is there anything usual about this case, Miss Lichtman?
The address is on the letter, Mr. Kelso.
The address, not the phone number.
Mr. Benson would like to see you in his office, Jack. Upstairs. Come on, I'll walk you up. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Mr. Benson, you wanted to see me?
Ah, yes, Jack. I'm just trying out a new putter. I noticed Elsa Lichtman in the lobby.
It's the weirdest thing, Mr. Benson.
Call me Curtis, Jack. This is California.
Like I said, Curtis, this is a very strange case.
How so, Jack?
That lady, Elsa Lichtman, is refusing a 20 grand payout.
Elsa Lichtman is hardly a lady, Jack. She's a jazz musician. Plays at the Blue Room in Hollywood. She has a fine pair of lungs, now that I think
She's
of
the
it.
beneficiary of this guy, Lou Buckwalter. He was killed in an industrial accident working for Elysian Fields Developments. You know Elysian?
I'm familiar with Leland Monroe. We move in similar circles.
Well, Miss Lichtman is making some pretty serious accusations. She says the case stinks and that
She's a very highly strung girl, Jack. Strung out might be a better way to put it.
It's a pretty generous payment, Curtis. I think I should look into it.
Is there anything wrong with the paperwork, Kelso?
No, there isn't, Mr. Benson.
I didn't think so. Pay the case out and get her off our backs.
I can't make her take the money,
Deal
sir.
with it, Jack. Do your fucking job. Do I have to do everything?
No, sir, you don't.
Fine, Jack. Fine. You know I have the greatest confidence in you.
Thanks, Mr. Vincent.
Your car, Mr. Kelso.
Thanks, kid.